My name is Kevin, and I play the bass.
I'm called Sam, and I play the guitar.
My name is Alex Trimble. I sing and do a few other things in Two Door Cinema Club.
When you say you won't forget me, I can tell you that's untrue. 'Cause every day since you left me, I've thought less and less of you, and I've worn out all
The song itself is probably over a year old. When we finished recording our second record, we then took on the task of writing B-sides for the singles, which is normally a bit of a chance to experiment and get an idea of where you're going to go next. And so they don't always turn out as fully formed songs or something that could be presented as a single, but this one did, and we kind of thought that it was pegged for better things than a B-side on a single. So we kept it back, and we had it in our heads that we wanted to spend a little more time with the next record, since the first two were just in and out of the studio on tour, and nothing was ever fully focused on making music in the studio. So I suppose it serves as a bit of an interim release. So we're still putting out music, but we're not ready to do a full length yet, because that'll take a little more time.
It's tough, you know, trying to write a B-side and you end up with another single. Oh. Oh.
I think we all feel still that second record is still very at the forefront, and the singles off of that, especially when we play live shows, still get, you know, the great reactions, as do the first record singles and things like that. But yeah, it is an interesting position for us to have released music so soon after Beacon.
Yeah, I think this is our second tour of the US on Beacon, and on the first record it was like we did about seven or eight tours of America. So yeah, I think it'll be hard. It'll feel like a very brief tour if we stop anytime soon, which I guess we're going to.
You know, I think the bread and butter of what you do as a band should be that every time that you come to a city again, you should hopefully be playing to more people than you played the last time. And, you know, others do have bigger steps in that leap than others, you know. But for us, you know, we're just super happy to come back and you know, play shows that are bigger than the last time we played, and you know, and still see a lot of the faces that we saw when we were playing to, I don't know, say 200 people in New York, down in Brooklyn to you know, when we're playing to thousands in Central Park or at the Hammerstein Ballroom. And yeah, I think it's really nice, and that's what that's our only real kind of gauge or barometer of what is really going on. And you know, I guess then we're doing something right then. So, but it's nice to be back to more people.
At the beginning of this year, we came back and we played the O2 Arena in Dublin, which for, you know, throughout our lives was this iconic venue. It used to be called The Point, and it was somewhat a different venue, but it's the same place and it's the same room. So to go there and to play to 10,000 people was incredible, because we don't get very many chances to get back to Ireland. We're normally elsewhere. So to be able to come back and sell out that show to people who we grew up with, amongst other people who we don't know, but that's yeah.
We did have a lot of friends growing up. Yeah.
It's an amazing feeling to do that in your home country and know that you have that support behind you. It was always a very strong support from the beginning. I think the Irish are very proud of what they produce, and so that was a wonderful night and a really great atmosphere, and just something that, you know, will go down in history for us. It was one of those kind of iconic moments in our career, I suppose. Yeah, we've just announced the London one, which is even bigger, which is, again, it's like the Dublin one felt before we were doing it, incredibly intimidating and surreal at the same time, that we're approaching that point where, you know, we've made it to there. And I've never seen a show there, but Kevin and Sam have, and they've been acts like Beyonce and Kanye West, and these super high caliber acts. So to be able to fill the same space as those people do is something that is very difficult to process right now, because I feel sort of caught up in the thick of everything. And but again, I think a couple of years down the line, when I finally realize that it's happened, it'll be something very special.
You better learn some sweet dance moves for it, I think.
A couple of costume changes.
Yeah, here's
We're not
hoping.
seeing Sam's dance moves?
We got time?
When you say you won't forget me, I can tell you that's untrue. 'Cause every day.
So we had this song, but we weren't quite sure of how the video would come out, because the song itself is quite, I suppose it's quite scathing, and it can be quite sarcastic at times, and all in all, it's a fairly negative song. It sounds kind of like a breakup song, which is something that we'd never really done before. So we were a little out of our depth when it came to a video, but then we met these guys, Brewer, who are the Brewer brothers, and they gave us this idea based on the Dylan documentary, Don't Look Back. And amongst other things, kind of all of that 1960s black and white footage that went along with Dylan and the Beatles and everyone else, and capturing rock stardom in its infancy, which is something I've definitely always been fascinated with. So it was something that was very close to our hearts, but it was a little bit of a pastiche. So there's a little bit of humor in there. So. Which I think fitted the song perfectly, and it was definitely the most enjoyable video to make, I think, and I think almost certainly the video that I'm most proud of. I love that video. I absolutely love it.
It was definitely easy to pretend. Like, I think we're all a bit worried when it comes to acting, so obviously it's a wee bit out of our depths a bit, so it was nice this time that there was a bit of acting, but it was sort of just an extension of what we do almost.
Yeah, we've been in similar situations, I'd say.
Yeah, we've stayed in hotels before.
Yeah.
We played on a stage a couple times.
Yeah, dropped a couple of wine bottles by accident.
Yeah, there was
similar to crashing a dressing room.
The last scene we did in the day was the scene with the taxi and all the fans surrounding it. And the guys that in the crew were kind of making jokes about, oh, this happened to you all the time, and the thing was that it happened in Korea when we were there, and we got completely swarmed. So yeah, I'd say that was our one moment of method acting in the video.
Yeah.
He sleeps alone, he needs no army where he said it, 'cause he knows that they're just ghosts and they can't hurt him.
The Beatles, I would say, are my #1. Everything, influence and icons, and I kind of became obsessed with them over the past couple of years through getting into songwriting and trying to find people to take things from. And of course, the Beatles are a band that everyone grows up with, but they've become a band that just completely floored me once I got into everything and realized what went on, and beyond the songs, the whole backstory and the tours. And so I've read like all the books, I've seen all the footage, and yeah, I'm a big Beatles fan. So this is kind of a big moment for me, definitely.
Yeah, we missed out on the Beatles the first time around, but luckily we were in Portland one day, was it? And it was really rainy outside. They had a lot of VHSs.
It was Seattle, actually.
Seattle.
Sorry.
Good memory. We were in the dressing room and they had the whole back catalogue of videos.
Beatles anthology.
That's what it was.
So yeah, we took it through.
We had quite the education that day.
We took it.
Over some fish and chips, I remember.
Yeah, several hours worth. Yeah.
A lot of time in Nemo's in
Really
Seattle.
English day.
Yeah.
For some Irishmen in Seattle.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny watching all that, being in America and having been to New York for our first time ourselves, and kind of relating to some of the stuff they were experiencing. It was interesting.
The screaming fans and
Yeah.
sex symbol status. Yeah. It's a tough life.
Yeah.
One last chance to make sense of what